She'd come in and she'd be like, there's that sexy therapist I love. And she's a lesbian. So I'm like, ha ha ha. You know, I think she's completely joking with me.
Yeah.
You know, she was not. Welcome back. It is episode 4. We've stuck it out for 4 episodes.
4. Solid.
Of Get Naked. I'm Erin Plott. This is
Dominique Thomason.
All right. And we are a couple of crazy massage therapists here with Massage Mechanics of South Carolina. You can totally look us up on Facebook and Instagram. Your Instagram handle still cracks me up.
Still good.
We'll tell you what those are later, so stay tuned so you can stalk us in like real life.
That's right.
Please don't. We're going to talk about that today.
A little bit of that today.
Please don't. First off, I want to say a little bit of a update. I told you guys last week I had to get a colonoscopy. Mm-hmm. It was. Let me just explain. The colonoscopy itself was not bad. Yeah. Like, I was unconscious, propofol for the win. Like, yes, I understand why. Like, that is a great drug. But the prep for this situation, the closest thing I can say without becoming incredibly graphic is I turned my body into a water cannon.
Perfect.
A water cannon.
Yeah.
Like, that is exactly. And just when you thought that the water cannon was empty, you know, and that you could stand up and stretch your back because, you know, everybody's like, oh, it's so painful. And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, like shitting out your entire soul, you know, is painful. Not so much, because it's all water. It's really not that bad. And I didn't even cramp that much, which was surprising. I was fully expecting that. No. It's the sitting gargoyle-like on your toilet, playing games and TikTok and all the things for 6 hours straight, to where like you literally like you are now Quasimodo, the water cannon.
That's why you need squatty potty.
I mean, I had it so set up. Like, okay, so this was like the Shangri-La of shit dens. Okay, so I had my little stool, you know, and everything, and I had a little towel on it because it has little like nubbies on it, and I was like, oh, that's gonna hurt my feet after a minute, you know, trying to like keep things comfortable, right? Mm-hmm. So I got that. I got my wet wipes, you know, because it's smart, you know, you don't want any residue hanging around. That shit will burn you, okay? So then I had like a little rack right here, and I had my iPad on it so I could watch, you know, Netflix and everything. I had some books. I had some hoist waters, just like IV level fluid kind of stuff. I mean, it was set up.
Yeah. It
was still hell on earth.
Yeah.
It was horrifying.
I believe it.
It sucked so bad. So got no sleep. I was delightful when I got to the place in the morning, and the anesthesiologist wants to fucking make jokes, right?
Of course.
He's like, so you're here for your breast exam? And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's a butt joke. I was like,
just kidding.
It's definitely not a butt joke. And he's like, oh, you're not a morning person. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking to me for? Like, just let's do this, okay? Like, why are you...
Get it over with.
I don't need jokes. I need a camera up my butt so I can go, all right? And that is the only time you'll ever hear me say that. Ever.
We'll see. Can we put a counter on the bottom?
I know, right? Like, how many times are you going to hear that? But yeah, so then he wants to, like... We go back there and they're about to like, you know, inject me with propofol. And he's like, all right, so you want a cup of coffee before we start? Y'all, I was so sleep deprived and my brain was so like, oh my God, something besides water?
Right.
That I was like, really? And he's like, no, not really. Good night. And does the thing. And I was like, son of a, like, I mean, ow.
Yeah.
So then I woke up like 5 seconds later, but really it was like 30 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah.
And, you know, they informed me that they took 7 polyps, which is apparently an excessive amount. And I got the report back, you know, today, and I can't read it for shit because it's like basically like this and this and this and this, but it doesn't tell me any of it.
Yeah.
Like what any of it means.
Right.
And it's like, these were the locations, explanation and diagnosis. And I'm like, well, where the fuck is the diagnosis? Like, I need to, I need an adult.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because sometimes too, those things, they're so convoluted just to say like, you're good.
You're good. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, I saw dysplasia and I've had enough like cervical issues where dysplasia has been part of it.
Bad.
And I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not, I know that word. That's not
right.
good. So then I'm like, So I'm waiting to hear back from them because they got a phone call today of me going, I don't know what this means. I need it.
Help.
So help.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. But I want to appreciate, just send out a little bit of appreciation to everybody who checked in. And who wished me well and said prayers for, my poor
Heine.
It survived. Everybody lived. Yeah. It was good.
I almost woke up at 3 a.m. to text you and be like, how you doing, friend? But I was like, nope.
Oh, so mean.
So instead, just sent you a bunch of random TikToks for you to be able to watch later.
Oh God! So did you enjoy the TikTok
of course.
deluge?
Yeah, I go deep into them, and then I'm just like Erin.
I found this one guy, and it's like things that I thought I knew before I turned 30, or things I wish I knew before I turned 30. Oh my God, I watched like 100 of those.
Because it's just like, oh, what?
Yeah, and some of them really were. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because I'm 40 and I should have known this shit 10 years ago, apparently, and I did not. So there were a couple of them where I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, I got to try this real quick. Yeah. And then it actually works.
And he does have a few where he kind of comes back and he's like, so that's not entirely what you should do. Like the manufacturers came back and said, don't do that.
Don't do that.
So that was kind of funny. And I was like, well, that's cool that he comes back and he's like, don't do that. I was like, I kind of feel like I should do that sometimes. Like, tell people, oh, you should do this stretch. And then you go and you actually look it up after they leave and you're like, oh shit, no, do
not do that. Do not do that stretch. That will make it worse.
Don't do that. My bad. I was thinking of something else. I'm sorry. I need chocolate.
My brain was somewhere else.
I was thinking about the fact that I didn't want to be here. No. Or even better, it's like that client that you're just like, I really just want to be done with this session. Like, let's just be done.
Those are like few and far in between for me.
That I don't get them a lot. I used to get them a lot more, and then I think I like buffed up my bad bitch exterior. So now I come in the room and it's not quite so. People are like, oh, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. It's the people that want to tell you how to do your job. No. That I just...
Aren't they great? Aren't they great?
And they make me so angry.
Because you didn't go to school for this at all, right?
No.
Like, you just woke up one day and said, you know what? I want to touch naked people.
This sounds great.
With oil.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Or it's like, this is the spot right here. And it's like, okay. And then you're working on it. And they're like, this spot. And it's like, you don't have to keep touching it. I'm on it.
I know.
I feel it. We're cool, man.
Or the ones who are like, that's it right there. And I'm like, you mean this giant knot that I have under my finger that I can feel? Oh, you can feel that? Yeah. I don't know. Can you?
Yeah.
Yes,
it's a giant marble under the skin is basically what it feels like. No, I don't feel that. No,
not at all.
Just
or like the people who cut, and these are my all-time favorite, are the ones who come in and they know just enough to really piss you off, and they're talking and they're using like anatomically correct musculature names.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yes, my trapezius and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay. Yep. Yeah. Yep. That's right where that is. Yeah. Yeah. And then they want to argue with you because that's not where the problem is. That's a transferred pain.
Right.
And they're like, no, it hurts right here. And I'm like, yes, I know it hurts right there, but that's because it's really right here. And then I didn't know that hurt.
Yeah.
Shit, Sherlock. Like,
because it's all
if you
connected.
Shut your mouth for a second and listen.
Yeah.
It's like my kid, I do. Sometimes I'm just like, so do you have kids? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, do they listen like you? And then you just let it sink in for a second.
And they're just like, wait, she just insulted me.
Wait a minute.
Rude.
Backhanded compliments. I'm really good at those.
Live your best life, man.
I mean, have the day you deserve.
That's right. And it's like, shoot.
It's like, oh, wait.
I was an asshole today. Do I deserve to have an asshole day?
And see, this is 100%. So, but definitely have had some of those types of clients where they've got to tell you, they've got to be fully in control, and control freaks are one thing. Stalkers are a whole nother situation. Have you ever had any issues with somebody who was just a little too into Dominique?
No.
Really?
No. They see this and they're like, crazy. Right on. I'm just kidding.
That bitch is crazy.
She crazy.
How do they not see that here? I don't understand. Even Scott's laughing. He's like, no shit. Like, how do they not?
Bitches are crazy.
I mean,
yeah.
For real.
I've never had anybody. I mean, boundaries, yes, where it's just like sometimes maybe a little bit uncomfortable,
right?
But never to the point to where I felt the need to have to end a session or.
Have you ever had to fire a client?
No.
Really?
And I think that's why I got so lucky being at that one place for so long.
So she worked at a corporation for a really long time and would do 20-minute increments on the people. Because there were 600 people who worked there. And
more than that.
Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, it was a huge place.
Yeah. And so doing the massages for the employees, it was like they were at their workplace and they knew that if anything bad were to happen,
you're reporting this to HR.
Well, yeah, but I knew their managers.
Right.
I could just go, I knew most of the security.
50 Shades of Karen on somebody.
So people were pretty good in that aspect. Yeah. But I mean, there are definitely times, not really here, but you just, someone will walk in and you just get that gut feeling of,
you're just like,
maybe this person is gonna be weird. And when
it's because they have the one cross eye right now.
No, but it's just you just get that feeling. Maybe they say something and it's just that's a weird thing to ask. I had someone, they were like, oh, are we the only people here today? And in my head, I was like, oh shit, we are the only people here today. But I was like, oh no, she's in the back. She's just real quiet.
There's someone doing laundry back there.
That's weird. So immediate red flag. But I've never had anybody, I mean, maybe they have and they're just really good at Facebook stalking and I just don't know. But
I have.
Scott's raising his hand. He's Facebook stalking me.
As we speak, it's phone in his hand.
He's like, oh, Dominique.
He's like, oh, I'm going to get her. He's sending stalker texts oh my God, to our WhatsApp conversation. Scott, we know it's you.
I see you doing it now.
Now, I have had, I had to fire I think 2 clients. One was the helicopter guy. We've already talked about him.
Yeah.
He was.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, you can go back.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
wait, no, 2. 2. It was episode 2.
And you can hear that fun and see Erin do the motions.
Yes, the helicopter. That guy was. But yeah, he got fired immediately. There was no even.
Yeah.
But the other one was a little more insidious because I didn't even recognize it at first that it was a boundary pushing thing. I mean, this lady was the epitome of manipulation. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
This was my lesbian encounter. And don't get me wrong. I love my ladies 100%, absolutely no, no judgment here at all. I mean, my gynecologist is a lesbian. You know your ways around a lady garden. So I'm all the things. So that being said, when they hit on you and you're not a lesbian, it can seem very not subtle, at all. Because you're used to dudes obviously, they're doing the line or they're just so dumb and obvious about it.
It's the elbow nudge.
Women are not. They will drop it. I mean, they will just say stuff and you're I think you're joking, but I'm not sure if you're joking, And so this went on for a while because she'd come in and she'd be like, there's that sexy therapist I love. And she's a lesbian. So I'm like, ha ha ha. I think she's completely joking with me.
Yeah.
She was not. And she'd do the whole oh my gosh, I just want to take you home so you can do this all the time. Okay. Lots of people do that.
Yeah.
Please don't.
It is weird.
There is a very, I want to put you in my basement and wear your skin aspect of that. It's not. Yeah. It's not flattering at all.
Yeah.
For anybody, male, female, creepy kid in the corner, to say that to anybody.
Yeah.
I want to take you home so you can be my massage slave. No, please don't.
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Hard pass.
So she, would just say little things, and I'd always just kind of be like, you're so funny, blah, 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 and we'd joke around and stuff. And then I started to realize she literally was stalking me because she'd talk about stuff that was on my personal Facebook page, and she and I were not Facebook friends.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
So that's why you set your profile
was back before,
private.
That was back before I did that, not technologically savvy over here. So that was kind of before, I thought I had my stuff set to private, and no, apparently I did not. And I'm not sure how I didn't, but it got fixed. So don't try and stalk me now. You won't find nothing. But you know,
or maybe
if you're really good. But no, she would come in and she'd be like, oh yeah, so I saw you went to a party Saturday night. You look super cute. And I was like, what? How did you know I was at a party Saturday night? Party? You know, and like it was this whole thing, and it just kept getting like creepier and creepier and creepier. And so finally, I was like, okay, this is we aren't doing this anymore. So I told her, I was like, you know, I feel like you'd be a better fit with another therapist. Like this isn't working. You know, I don't feel like I'm helping you in a therapeutic way any longer, because like she was having a shoulder issue, and I was like, I think you need to see a physical therapist and not me anymore. And she just kind of did this number. She was like, I see.
I see.
And then she left.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die. Like, she's going to, like, MacGyver my brakes or something, and I'm going to die. Like, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And so my husband at the time, I'm calling him, and I'm like, oh, my God, the creepy girl. Like, And he's just like, would you calm down? Nobody cares enough about you to, like, ruin your brakes. And I'm like,
you never know.
Ow. I'm just like, but no, I'm here. So obviously nothing ever really happened. But yeah, that was the second I had to fire somebody in. And it's weird because you feel bad.
You do feel bad.
You feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Like they make you feel like a creepster, and like, yet you feel bad about firing them. It's because we're healers.
No. No.
He's like, no, it's not that.
Listen.
No, it's because we're engendered as women to like feel like we have to take care of people.
But I think it definitely, when you fire a client, like that is something that needs to be okay. Because if someone's making you feel 100%. Very uncomfortable, then you shouldn't have to put up with that.
No, absolutely not. And
whether it's male or female.
And the thing is you shouldn't have to be afraid of that. You know, you shouldn't have to be afraid that somebody's going to like react in a way that is scary or violent or anything like that, or that they're going to like stalk you or like kidnap your kids or your dogs or whatever, like it's 100%. I agree, you know, and it's unfortunate that like, in a lot of instances, it's not just massage therapy, obviously. Like, in a lot of instances, women especially have to deal with, oh, well, if I tell this guy to screw off in a bar because he's been hitting on me for 20 minutes and I'm, like, not interested, is he going to fly off the handle? Is he going to follow me to my car? Like, all these things. And it just sucks. So can y'all stop? I mean, like, can we all just kind of understand that, like, not everybody's going to be your cup of tea, and, like, not everybody's going to be, like, the right fit for you, and, like, quit being so butthurt about everything. Can we stop?
Yeah. PSA
for the day, I guess.
Off the soapbox.
Off the soapbox and into, so family members. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
it's a weird transition, but sure.
It is a weird transition. Actually, it's kind of not. Like, because, I mean, I kind of had to fire a family member.
Yeah.
I had to fire my ex-husband because he became my ex-husband.
Truth.
It would have been super awkward. Though I do still work on his mom and his stepdad. And that's not weird. I mean, they're my kids' grandparents, so it's not weird at all.
Yeah.
But, like, him coming in, I feel like that would just be kind of awkward because it's like, so, you still have that mole.
It's like, just haven't changed much.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But like, okay, so you're married. Mm-hmm. Do you ever work on your husband?
Never.
Seriously? Mm-hmm. Does he, like, not ask you to, or do you just, like, not?
It's a little bit of both.
Really?
Because sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing this shit. I did it all day. Mm-hmm. I just want to come home and chill. And now that is his excuse of like, oh, I don't want to bother you.
That's what Eric does too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, and it's like, okay, but I see that you're in pain, so let me just fix it.
Yes.
But you're going to fight me on it. Mm-hmm. So
do I even
I'm going to let you suffer then. I'm going to let you suffer.
No, it's like the passive aggressive, oh, you do it all day, honey. Yeah. So like, I don't want to bother you. And I'm like, but you're obviously in pain. So it's sort of insulting to me that you won't let me fix it.
Yeah.
Because you're a wuss.
Yeah.
No. But no, Eric says the same thing. He's like, oh, no, you've been doing it all day. Like, I don't want to, I don't want. And I'm like, but your shoulders are at different heights. Like, this is painful to look at for me. I can only imagine what it feels like for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why won't you let me fix it? And he dead ass looks at me and he goes, because it hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, because you wait until you're in like such excruciating pain that you can barely move. And then you're like, babe, can can you, and then I touch you and you're like, you know, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Why don't they listen?
I don't know. Men are dumb.
I mean, 100%.
Sorry, Scott.
But when it comes to healthcare stuff, 100%. Like, I do not know very many males that are super proactive when it comes to like their health. It's like, nah. I'm gonna wait until it's so bad, like my leg fell off, and I'm gonna go to the doctor now and be like, I think there's something wrong with my leg.
Yeah,
like it's just gone. You know. But like it's same thing. Eric broke his ankle a few years back. He rolled it on the boat. I told him for days. Like, we went and got an x-ray the next day. It was too swollen. They couldn't see anything. Yeah. So they were like, you know, come back in a few days or whatever. And I kept telling him, I'm like, it's broken. It's broken. And he's like, nah, no, it's not. It's swelling up every day after work when I take my boot off because I've had a boot on all day. I'm like, no, it's doing that because it's broken. This went on for 3 weeks. Babe, it's broken. Go get it x-rayed. Babe, it's broken. Go get an x-ray. So finally, his phone rings one night. It's a friend of his who is a rad tech. She's, you know, reads x-rays and everything. Or she doesn't read them. She takes them. And so he's talking to her because she's got her car in the shop or whatever. And so he's talking to her for a second. And she's like, so how have you been? And he goes, oh, well, I did this thing to my ankle a few weeks ago and it keeps swelling up and all. And she's like, it's broken. You need to come get an x-ray. He's like, can you see me tomorrow? I was like, you son of a bitch. Like,
yeah.
You've got to be kidding me.
You can't
like,
say it, but somebody else could. And he would have been like, oh.
Of course.
3 weeks ago.
Light bulb. Like, I mean, just.
Yeah.
I was hot.
Yeah.
I was
that's
like,
100% accurate.
I'm so putting Visine in your food. I didn't. I'm not a sadist guy. I mean, a little bit, but not. I mean, I'm not. Don't go to sleep, Eric. Not kidding. But no, I was super. Like, I know. Oh God, living with me. Like, can you imagine? And he chooses to do it all the time. We're not married, and he like sticks around. So he's a glutton for punishment. It's his own fault. Yeah. So he's like, this is. He gets it no matter what, and he chooses it all the time. He is so breaking up with me after he listens to this podcast. Yeah. He's going to be like,
he's like, every episode you talk shit about me.
He's like, you mean I can leave?
Yeah.
No, you can't. No, honey, I'm sorry.
It's too late now. Sorry, friend.
Now. It's been too long. So it's been too long. But like, it drives me nuts. Yeah. I'm just like, please let me fix it. My daughter's the same way though. I mean, I will say she loves the idea of a massage, and she's been getting massages since she was a teeny tiny baby. Like, I've been working on her since like the day I spit her out. So it's like she's used to it, she knows and everything, but she'll come to me and she'll specifically be like, Mom, I have a knot right there. And I'm like, okay. And I'll put my thumb in it. I'm not even pressing hard. I mean, like I would normally press. And she's just like, oh God, that hurts so bad. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, but I want you to work it out. So I have to explain to her, like, it's not going to be comfortable all the time. Like, I'll be as gentle as I can, but sometimes it's going to hurt. And she's like, but can't you just, like, touch it and make it go away? And I'm like, oh, if I could, I'd be a millionaire.
I remember in massage school, the books where it was like, you find a knot and you push on it for 30 seconds and voila.
It's done.
And it's like,
and you have your
could you
imagine 3 deep breaths?
Could you imagine if that actually worked? Where it's just like, all right, 30 seconds, your massage is done. That's $100.
Right? Oh my God, I'd have so much money.
Right?
So much money. And my hands would not hurt the way that they do sometimes. So that would be great.
Do you get people that ask you that all the time?
Oh yeah.
What do you do with your hands? How are they so strong?
I don't know what to do with my hands ever. Like, if I'm not touching a body, I'm kind of like,
yeah.
Super awkward. And then I don't want to touch my face because even when there's not oil on my hands, it always feels like there's oil on my hands. So I'm just like, don't touch your face. Like, don't touch your clothes because you're gonna.
I just want to, like, I think people imagine us just like in the gym, just like
like yes, constantly, yes. No, I don't do that at all. And people are like, your hands are so strong, like you must work out all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, my hands are the only thing that's strong. I have no upper body strength whatsoever. Like, you could put a gun to my head and say, do a pull up, and I'd be like, fuck me. I mean, shoot me now.
That's it.
I mean, because I'm done.
That's it.
Like, that's it. I can't do that. I can do like 3 push-ups, and they're the like wussy kind where you're like on a diagonal. Like, I can't go straight
everyone
down.
starts
'Cause
somewhere.
I can't bend my wrists like that. That's the problem.
That's like when I'm doing push-ups, I'm like, ooh. So I always end up using the weights so I can keep my arms straight and then being able to do
like
it that
that.
way.
And I can do that.
Or like the handles at the
But it's really disconcerting when you forget to wear like the 4 sports bras and your boobs hit the ground before like you're supposed to get there. Oh, that doesn't happen to anybody else. Like, that's just
you, apparently.
Have my boobs ever hit you in the head when I've worked on you?
Not my head. Well, yeah, actually, sometimes. I mean, it happens because like you're just like
I feel so violated now.
You feel violated?
Well, I didn't know what they were doing. I mean, like, maybe speak up next time. Reach up and slap one. And be like, hey.
Next time, I'll just be like,
okay.
boob alert, boob alert.
Boop, boop, boop. Oh God, this is gonna be great.
Okay, so that used to happen a lot, like in massage school, because you're learning,
right? And you don't wear the right stuff. I mean, I've got a sports bra on right now that is literally like this is the
strapped
in. I mean,
yeah.
This is like the you're gonna go on an upside down roller coaster and they just locked you in so you don't come out kind of bra. That's what that is.
But like they teach you, it's like okay, you don't want anything but like what part you're working on to be touched, and like so you're like constantly looking.
Don't hold their arm against your body. Okay, I do that all the time because I can't put you in positions otherwise. I'll break my arm trying to be like, oh, I need to get your shoulder, and I can't.
But all body types are different, so sometimes it just happens when you're. And it's not intentional. Like you're sometimes to, like, maybe it is intentional, but like 90.
Are you intentionally trying to like
no? But they're
forehead my boob. Is that what you're trying to do?
It's like, oops.
I certainly hope they aren't going that low.
That low.
I'm not. That would be terrifying.
But, you know, like sometimes you just you lean.
Like,
I'm being smothered.
I was always really freaked out when I was pregnant because I, worked through a lot of my pregnancy, and I was always like so freaked out that like my belly was going to hit somebody and that they were going to freak out. Like me, I had everything with this. I mean, I was just like, belly, watch out. I mean, I didn't care. But apparently, like, obviously some people will. They're like freaked out by that and everything. And
because sometimes you're not expecting it. So you're just like, the hell was that?
The baby just massaged you.
Yeah. That's also additional.
Yes, that's an add-on.
Yeah.
But that's I also I had a pregnant client recently, and she was like a couple weeks away from giving birth and all, and was so uncomfortable, and I had been working on her for a few months, and so this is she was 2-3 weeks, maybe. I think it was 3 weeks out. And I was asking her how she was feeling and everything. And she's like, my back feels okay. She's like, but it's my belly and my hip, it just hurts so bad. Everything's so tight. I was like, your skin's tight.
Yeah.
I said, do you mind if I massage your belly? Yeah. And she's like, will it make it feel better? I said, yeah. She goes, fuck yes. And I was like, these are the types of clients that I love.
Yeah.
And so she's like, and I'm working on her. And the coolest thing happens when you're working on pregnant women who are like very pregnant.
Yeah.
The baby gets involved.
Yeah.
And they'll roll, like sometimes they'll roll like up against, and they'll press and you're like, oh, little baby, hey, and it's so cute. And it's just like, oh my God. And she's like, is he pressing up against the side of my belly because you're rubbing right there? And I said, yes. And she's like, little fucker. And I was like, you're gonna be a great mom.
That's right.
Tear.
Yeah. He wants a little pre massage before he comes out.
He was just like, "Hey, mom,
that feels great.
Me too.
Yeah."
So then I was
pointing to his spots.
Right. He's like, "Ma'am, I need you to get
right here,
right here. You're on it.
That's it.
That's it.
Hold for 30 seconds."
Do you work on babies for free?
That's right.
No, the answer is no. I don't work on anybody for free. No one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm totally.
Because I mean, that's a boundary too.
It is, and that's something that like I think happens a good bit, especially when we're like, if you're out. Have you ever been like at a social function and somebody's like, "Oh, hey, blah blah blah." They know your husband or whatever, and they're like, and he's like, "Oh, this is my wife, Dominique," and they're like, "Oh, well, what do you do for a living?" And you say, "I'm a massage therapist," and they're like, "Oh yeah, can you work on this right here, right now?" And
immediately,
I'm like,
no.
Yeah, come here.
Yeah.
Make you regret that.
No. Yeah.
But all the time. Like all the time. I've gotten to the point now where I just tell people I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
and then listen to their problems. And then I'm like, yeah, you're screwed. And I leave. Like,
can't help.
Can't help. Not that kind of therapist. Bye.
You heard what you wanted to hear.
I mean, that's not, see ya.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's gotten to the point though. It's so annoying because it's guaranteed that's, or they're going to have some joke. Oh yeah, you do happy endings. Yeah. Is that an appropriate thing to ask in front of my significant other? Yeah. Because I wouldn't do that. And I'm like a messed up person, but I wouldn't do that. I mean, I'd do it to you, but that's because, I know them.
It's different, but it's uncomfortable because sometimes you're like, I'm out here having lunch. Can you please not ask me to massage your shoulders?
Sorry, I was just eating my Firehouse sub.
Yeah. I mean, and there's been times too, I don't mind doing it if I can tell like someone's in excruciating pain. And it's 100%. Like, oh, okay, like yes, but I'm not going to be there for 2 hours giving them this massage. Right. It's going to be, all right, I'm going to work on you for a few
minutes and like kind of loosen that up and then give you my card and be like, you really need to come in. I can do a lot more, in the office and everything. And that's the thing. It's like, if I know you, and I like you, then 100% come on and I'll be like, oh yeah, I got you, you know.
I mean, we do it together, like sometimes too, where I'm just like, I slept on it wrong, please, like do whatever you can. And if it's 2 minutes,
that's fine, and those kind of things are fine. And like I said, if I know you, then you coming to me and saying like, hey, I don't know what's up, but like this thing is awful. And I'll be like, oh, hold on, because at that point I'm like curious, I'm interested. I'm like, ooh, but it's also, they don't do it all the time.
Right. But it's the people who consistently, they see you every week.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, oh, hey, Erin, this spot, can you... And it's like, no.
And they've never come into the office
Exactly.
Ever.
Like the first time I did it because I was being nice. The second time, shame on me because I was still being nice.
I don't know if you're a very nice person.
I mean, I can be.
You can? I've never seen it.
I'll remember that.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm in for it now because she's going to get me after this last session.
Take care of your breaks. Is that what?
Right. Yes. You're going to go out and be like, breaks.
I don't know what breaks are, so I'm just going to pull all the cords.
I'm just going to pull all these wires right here.
Put one of them into the breaks.
And now I'm like, why isn't my nav system working?
I'm going to be like, hey, Eric, which thing do I pull for the brakes?
Which way are you going to turn now? And I'm like, I don't know. My nav system's out.
How do I get home?
It's literally down the street around the corner. Like, I'm okay on that regard, but I mean, it's a thing.
It is a thing.
What else? Okay, so not even the like, what do you do kind of thing. My favorite are the people who, oh, I'm a massage therapist. And?
Yeah.
Oh, is that not enough? Like,
for some people, it's not.
It's not enough. It's not enough. That's always really nice too. It's like when people completely demean like what you do. Like, oh, you're a massage therapist. That's cute. What are you gonna do like when you grow up?
It's like this, because I'm taking care of myself, so I can do this
like
long term.
I own a house, a car, and like, I pay my
bills to pay.
Like I mean, I figured this was it. Like, this it? Am I supposed to do something else?
Well, and then, they might hear stories, too, that make them think that massage therapists don't stay in the industry as long because they're uncomfortable or things happen. And they don't.
Yeah.
And it's hard on the body. And I think people don't realize that.
It's a very physical thing, And do you ever get people who are like, squeeze my hand?
Yes.
You can't hurt me. Squeeze my hand. And I'm like... Okay, but you have to sign a paper that says that if I break it, you're not going to sue me because, like, I'm going to make you I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Because you're being an asshole. So, okay.
You can't hurt me.
Do you want to play? Do you want to play?
I got you.
I had a lady come in today, actually, and she didn't say it like that. She basically was like, you can use every amount of pressure that you think you can't use.
Yeah.
And it, like, probably won't be enough. And I'm just like...
Okay.
So, I'm working on her and I'm using about 50% of the pressure that I can use, but like 25% less than what I would normally use on somebody who says that.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, that is excellent. Thank you. So like, yeah. And I'm just like, oh, okay, shit. And she's like, I mean, if you wanted to go a little deeper. And I was like,
Okay.
All right.
Crank it up a few
All right,
notches.
Iron woman, So I'm just like, all right. And she's just like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like, this is not that kind of session, ma'am. And she started laughing and everything. It was pretty funny. But, 90% of the time, the people who come in and they say that,
they can't handle it.
they don't mean it. They don't mean it. And I don't know why they say it. Like, I don't know if they've gone somewhere where they were just like, pet you for a little while.
Deep tissue.
Oh, this is deep tissue because I'm in one spot, holding it for 30 seconds.
That's right. And done.
And we're done here. I don't know what that is, or if it's just like this, like, I'm a dude and I gotta be like,
macho.
And like, I'm sorry guys, but like, y'all can't handle it. Y'all really can't. Like women, I mean, a woman might come in and be like, beat me up. Like, I need it. I can take it, or whatever. Or she'll be like, it's going to hurt like a motherfucker, but I'm here for it. Like, I know I need it. And I'm just like, man, I'm kind of scared. You gave birth to people. Like, I know you can handle it, because women, I mean, they really are. And I think you've probably seen it too, as long as you've been a therapist. Like, women have really high pain thresholds. Oh, yeah. And like, I mean, I think we all have like a little part of us that's like, beat me up.
Yeah.
Like, in a massage, not like in real life. Like, y'all, calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down, Dominique.
Sorry.
She's over there like, yeah, wait.
Plotting.
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens.
Only when I was pregnant. So anyways, thanks again for coming and listening to this crazy town. We appreciate you guys so much, and we have so much fun doing this. I certainly hope that y'all enjoy watching it, and that it's kind of makes you think every now and again that you might not ever want to see a massage therapist ever again. I don't know. I hope it doesn't make you think that.
Hopefully not.
If anything, I hope it will make you want to come see us more, because it's just fun, and
we're open.
It's so good for you. And you could literally say anything, and we're probably just going to be like, cool.
Unless it's real weird.
I mean,
and then we fire you as a client.
Right? I mean, it depends. Is it real weird to me or weird about something?
Yeah.
If it's really weird about something, I'm going to probably be like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard of that. What is that?
Give me all the details.
Yeah, give me all the details.
Yeah.
You can have all the details, by the way, because you can watch this on YouTube or Facebook, or you can listen.
Spotify or iTunes.
Yes. And you can follow both of us on Instagram. I am the more professional Instagram handle at Massage Mechanics SC.
Yes.
Dominique.
Dee Pookie.
I love it. I swear to God, that's the best ever. Like, it's the best. Or you can check us out on our website, massagemechanics.sc.com.
That's right.
You can book on there. You can shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram to inquire or book an appointment. Well, you can't book it on there, but you can ask us for one. And if we're in a good mood, we'll say yes.
90% of the time we're not.
It's all good, But we appreciate you guys so much. Like us, follow us, share us with all your friends and family that you don't like. And definitely leave us a comment so that we can, talk about you on our podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
That's always a fun thing.
Love you guys. Meet it.
Weirdo.